on this week's episode of I Really Should Have Went Pee Before I Started Filming, we're going to be talking about the booktuber tag, the new booktuber questions, get to know me because I've never said anything about myself, and the fun stuff. So this wasn't a part of like the initial questions, of course, but I feel like I have never done like an intro video, I don't think. But just to put it out there, my name is Riley. I am currently 24. Birthday is November 9th of 95. Hell yeah, millennial gang. That sounds so lame. Hell yeah, millennial gang. Favorite color is blue. Favorite animal is the wolf. My grandfather is Native American from the Miami tribe, or as the actual language is Miamiaki. And what else is interesting about me? I don't know. I'm a psych major, like criminal forensic psychology. I intern at the forensics office in the sheriff's department. I go to school still. I work at Starbucks. And I think that's it. As for the questions, I never really intended on doing this video, and that's solely for the fact that I forgot it existed. So that's on memory loss, sis. I caught myself slipping, but here I am. So I guess the tag is just to like introduce the things that I like or the reasons behind this channel, which I think I've mentioned in another video, like why I started this channel. But I guess we can just like do them question by question. So I literally just Googled like booktuber newbie tag or something like that. And this was one of the links that had like 2.0 in the title, because there was like a couple ones, but this said 2.0. And I was like, oh, it must be like the newer version. So that's what I'm using. I will put the questions down in the description as well. The first question is why I started this channel. It's kind of like a two-parter-ish. I started this channel because I initially read We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and I felt so strongly about this book that I just kind of like delved into the world of booktube, like just looking at other people who read. So that was like the first initial reason, and then the reason why I started a channel and I'm uploading videos, and I'm like going into this sort of group on YouTube is because I don't really have a lot of friends in real life that read as much as I do. Granted, I didn't used to read all that much, but certainly nobody reads more than like a couple books a year. And I feel like your friends obviously want to listen to what you're passionate about. It's not that. I just want to be able to talk about books all the time or whenever I have inspiration and not just like throw it all on my friends, you know what I mean? So I love them for just hearing me rant and stuff, but I feel like I needed like another outlet to do that. And also to just like talk with other people, you know, that really like books or have their own opinions and like stuff that's different for me and that I can kind of like look into and maybe like open my thoughts about. So second question is, what are some fun / unique things that I can bring to booktube? And I feel like this is kind of like weird because like I could just give everyone's unique in their own way and blah blah blah, which like yeah, of course that's true, but I also think that it puts some sort of pressure on people to be like fun and unique, which can be great, you know, if you're like a very creative or like outgoing or like eccentric person. But for people that are just like, they just like to read, you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like I have anything like to add. I quote TikToks and Vines. I don't know. It's weird. I guess, I mean, the only other thing is like I'm really, really big on representation. Of course, not every book that I ever read is gonna have people of color or people with disabilities or this and that. But I do try to include that, and I genuinely like to read about different cultures and ethnicities and groups of people, whether the book is a happy one or a sad one or a realistic one or whatever the case may be. So I definitely am going to be talking about books like that and be very passionate about inclusivity and really what's right and what's wrong with the world. So it's a lot of social and maybe political commentary, depending on like what kind of books I read and like the climate that they're set in and stuff like that. So I'm very passionate about that. So I guess that's something fun and unique if you like to listen to rants about just everything controversial, really. But I guess that's really the only thing. But again, I feel like everyone has their own thought processes and opinions, so it's really unfair to be like, why are you different and why should people watch you, you know? Like, you're either gonna vibe with someone or you're not. So what am I most excited for with this channel? I think I said it in the first one, is just to like talk to other people and to just share the excitement. Like, there's literally nothing better than to know someone else enjoys the things that you enjoy and you can just talk forever. So it's a really good environment to kind of help each other and to talk about books or to get out of reading slumps or to have different ideas. So that's really important. And also, you know, hoping one day for some brand deals, because Starbucks does not pay me enough to just live, you know? So money. No, I'm totally kidding. Absolutely not. But definitely just talking with people. I mean, I can talk a lot, so we'll see how that goes. Next question is, why do I love reading? I don't know. Like, I feel like there's so many different reasons. Some reasons could be like the world that we live in is horrible. You know, like, I live in America, specifically Florida, and that's just bad enough. Other places in America are worse. Other places in other countries are living in horrible conditions. And sometimes you just want to escape that. And I know it's very privileged of me to say, because people that are living in these horrible conditions, they probably don't have the opportunity to go out and read a book to escape from their life. So I'm very conscious and aware of the privilege of being able to read and being able to live a life that is better than others. But still, just the climate that we sort of live in today, with the environment, with politics in America or in Europe, just really everything. How women's rights and gay rights and black rights, and it's just like every day there's something new, and there's people being killed, and there's people being put down and oppressed. And even though some books are about that, and some books focus on things like that, they can still take you out of the frame of mind. Like, it's just great to just for a little bit, just a couple hours, forget that your life or the world is kind of shit. You know what I mean? So in that sense, the escape is really great. I really like genres that are so far away from like my own life. They can still be like realistic books, but I don't want to like necessarily see myself in it. You know what I mean? So I definitely like out there-ish books, or books that don't really reflect me, because I just don't want to focus on my life. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm just saying the same things. I think that's why I like to read, just kind of a little bit of a break from what's happening. Next question is, what book or series got me into reading? So I remember reading heavily in middle school, and I remember in 6th grade, I did a project on a series. So I'm going to say that that's probably like the first big thing that got me into it. And it's the Cirque du Freak series by Darren Shan. I know that I've read all of the books. And I remember like renting, I think just maybe like the first one from the library, and loving it so much that I made my mom like take me there. And I rented like 4 at once. And the one thing that I just like sticks in my brain is I used to have this like little wooden desk and this little lamp, like reading light or whatever. And it was at night, like dinner time. And I was sitting at my desk, and I had the book on the desk, and the little light was on, and I was just reading and reading and reading. And I think I read like 2 books that night, and I like skipped dinner. My parents were like, please eat. And I was like, no, I can't. And I was just so enthralled with the story that I think it just really kickstarted everything. And that series, granted, I only read it once, and like the movie was shit, so please don't ever see the movie if you can if you can help it, because it's just not good. But I really want to reread that series, and it really just holds a dear place in my heart. Another series that kind of sticks out to me, that's not like Vampire Diaries or Twilight or anything that was huge at the time, was the Night World series. That's another one that I was just obsessed with. Like, it was like no one else had read it. I mean, in my life, no one else had read it, and I was just in like this own little bubble And I loved it. And those also hold a really special place in my heart too for that reason. Next question is, what would I ask my favorite booktubers? Like, what questions would I ask? I don't know. Like, I don't really feel like I need to know anything. It's like the same with celebrities. Like, what am I really gonna ask them? Like, how are you? Like, I don't know. It's so weird. I'm not gonna ask them, like, about what they do, because I feel like they just do it, you know? Like, we're just working it out like everyone else. I guess because my favorite booktuber is, like, Kayla from Books and Lala and Chandler Ansley. And they read a lot. So I guess the only question I have is just, like, how you have so much, like, inspiration to continue reading. Because I know Kayla's a mom. And Chandler, I haven't, like, delved deeper into her life, but I'm assuming, like, she has a job and social life and friends and all that stuff. And so right now I have a job. I'm in school. I try to hang out with my friends. It's getting harder. I have an internship. So, I mean, I have homework and I really want to read and, like, do all these things. And, like, there's shows that I'm watching, and it's just, like, so much that it's hard for me to, like, imagine continuously, like, filming 3 videos at once, especially like Kayla does. Like, she does, like, reading vlogs and also challenges and also this and that, and it's just like, how, like, she's great. So I guess that would be just, like, the amount of things that they can do. Is it, like, time management? Like, are they like, okay, let's do it this at this time and blah blah blah, or is it just kind of like it just falls into place, you know? Otherwise, that's it. They're just human, you know? I'm just sitting here in my room with incense and my dream catchers, just vibing, you know? This question is, what challenges in starting this channel will be the hardest to overcome? And I think I just kind of said it. For me, is, like, balancing everything and coming up with ideas, because you don't have to come up with crazy ideas. You can literally, if you want to be a booktuber and just put it out there, you can just do, like, TBR and what I read and opinion videos. Like, you don't need anything else. Like, I love, those are my, like, favorite videos to watch. Or, like, unhaul videos or things like that. Mia! What the hell? For me, I am, like, so worried that the people that have subscribed already, which is, like, thank you, hello, they're gonna, like, get bored with that, even though I don't get bored with those videos, you know what I mean? So then I'm like, well, other people probably don't get bored with them either. But then you, like, take it upon yourself to be like, I have to be something better or something newer or something this and that, which is, like, very toxic mentality. So, like, I don't go out of my way to think like that. But it's always in the back of my head that it's like, you're always so busy. How are you, like, planning on continuing this and uploading videos and doing this and that? And, like, what are your ideas and blah, blah, blah. So, like, I mean, anytime I have an idea, I write it down in, like, my phone's notepad. So I have, like, a couple, but it's just, like, balancing everything and, like, time. And it's probably not the best time in my life to be doing this. Maybe I should have waited a couple months when I graduated and can get a real job and quit Starbucks. So then all I have to worry about is the job. But it's just, it happened and I'm here. And if I ever disappear, it's just because I'm a dumb bitch that didn't handle her time well. Next question, when did I start reading? Like I said, I started initially reading a lot in middle school, and in every video I'm gonna say this, so take a shot, but I haven't really read in high school or college. I'm about to graduate this year, but, like, before that, in college, so about, like, roughly 10 years I haven't been reading. So, like, the boom of everything coming out, don't really know. Like, I literally went and researched, like, what I read 2014 or, like, February TBR of 2017, because I just, like, don't know what was, like, really popular then. So I kind of missed it all if it wasn't, like, Twilight, which I read, or Vampire Diaries, which I, like, read the beginning of. Like, I've obviously heard of Hunger Games and Percy Jackson, but everything else, like, let's see, like, the Cinder series, or whatever kind of series that was called, never even heard of till this year. The Selection series, stuff like that. Like, I just had no idea that it was a thing, you know, which kind of sucks. But so middle school, I really started reading, then I quit reading, and then I got back into it in 2019, but that whole year, I only read 16 books. And so in December, I ended up, like, out of the 16 books, I read, like, oh God, how do you do math? I read like 10 actually in the month of December. And from there, December of 2019, it just kind of exploded. My love for books, like to the point where I have like a bookcase in my room, kind of. It's like a shelving unit that like matches this desk and it matches my mirror. But it was mostly for just like things that I collect or things that I have, and not so much for books. So because I have a love for books and I have so many now, planning on like building like shelves or like a bookcase or something because of that, because it's just like kind of gone crazy a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty big jump from middle school till 24. So I guess that's really when I started reading again. The question is, where do I read? I mean, anywhere. I read in the front room, like on the couch. I read a lot of books. In my bedroom, like at my desk or on my bed, I'll read. I read at work, like if I have to do homework, and I'll do homework and then I'll bring a book along, so when I finish I can like actually sit there and read. Basically anywhere that's in a house. And the last question is, what kind of books do I like to read? Everything. I'm trying to catch up on everything that I missed. So like in general, things that I know I like are supernatural, in any form. So like supernatural, fantasy, kind of sci-fi-ish things. Let's see. I really, really, really love dystopian or post-apocalyptic or in the middle of an apocalypse. I like survival things like within that realm, or kind of like Kayla. If you've never watched her videos, I'm sorry, you need to. But Kayla, when she was talking about like isolation or survival or being stranded somewhere, I kind of like those books too, where it's like it could be in any place. Like it could be on an island, it could be just in like one building that you have to stay in, it could be at a university that you're just quarantined in, stuff like that. I really also like dark games like Kayla. I'm sorry that I'm just so much like her. We can't all be as beautiful and perfect as Kayla, but we can sure try. But I like dark games, or like, have you guys seen the movie Truth or Dare with Lucy Hale? Wasn't the best, but things like that where you just take a normal game. Or the movie, oh my gosh, what's it called? Would You Rather? It's on Netflix, at least I think it is, with Brittany Snow. I've seen that movie 3 times. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm obsessed. Just stuff like that. And I also like cults a lot because, I mean, I'm not saying that this is just for me. I'm sure a lot of people like learning about cults in general. But as a forensics major and like delving into like criminal activity, I have a lot of like relations with government agencies and things like that. So like anything revolving cults or just like secret organizations and like stuff like that, obsessed with. So that's it. Those are all the questions. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is boring. But then again, I know people like to talk about themselves. So I guess in that way it's fun. Oof. Y'all hear that? My back leg cracked. This is probably stupid. Thank you for watching. Did I make sense? No. Yeah, just thank you guys so much for watching this. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.